Welcome back to News 3 today at 11. September is Hunger Action Month. Feed America's nationwide effort to raise awareness about food insecurity across the country and inspire action. Mary Jane Crouch is the executive director of Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia, an agency that serves as a safety net for tens of thousands of people at risk for hunger across our area. She joins us now with more. Thank you so much for being here today. During the break, tossing to this interview, I said that we are doing this month, but this is something that you tackle 24/7, 365, and that's food insecurity in our area.
It is. You know, it's a shame that we serve 21 counties in coastal Georgia, and in those counties there are over 131,000 people, about 60% of them children, that live at or below the poverty level. And for us, that means they may not know where their next meal is going to come from. It may be they're, getting it from a neighbor or from a convenience store, but they're just not sure how they're going to eat their next meal.
And some ways that you're helping to provide the food for people in rural areas, people in our area, is through the mobile food pantry. You had an event over the weekend that culminated with 912 Day.
That's correct. Yeah, it was great to be able to say, 912, this is our community. While we do serve 21 counties, most of our counties all join together on 912 Day. And so being able to have that ability to serve those meals and be able to provide all that food, we provided over 100,000 pounds of food on Friday to over 800 households. I mean, people that, were really and truly having to make horrible decisions about, do I pay my light bill? How do I feed my children? And the bottom line is you never know what someone's going through. They could have just lost their job. They could have major medical expenses. We never know what that person's going through. And so to be able to know that we were able to help those families be able to make it through, and this month maybe be able to have a little relief in their lives, to know that they were going to be able to give their families nutritious food. They were going to be able to make sure that they could pay all those bills and move into next month not having to use that credit card to be able to buy food is our goal in life.
Yeah, and it's astounding because we think about like inflation and job cuts and all of these other things. And I was looking at your website and I saw some just statistics that, it really hit home for me because it's things that you don't really realize, you kind of overlook. 69% of the people that you serve have to choose between food and utilities. 66 have to choose between food and medicine or medical care, and 64% of children in our area go hungry every single day.
Mm-hmm. And we address our childhood hunger programs a variety of ways. One of the big ways we address it is through the mobile food pantry, but also our Kids Cafe program is really big here in our area and all of the area, but that provides about 4,000 meals every afternoon to children that might not have dinner. We also provide tutoring, homework assistance, so when they get back to school the next day, they're able to learn. And then we have our backpack program, where we provide the food to nonprofit organizations here that they're able to provide over 7,000 backpacks right here in Chatham County to children that might not have food on the weekends when they don't have access to the school lunches. So it's really great to know that we work with a lot of partners. We have 247 partners that we work with to be able to make sure we're getting the food out to the people that need it and make sure we're reaching some of that need. But there's always room for more. Yeah. There's always an opportunity to volunteer. There's an opportunity to do a food drive for us. We're moving into the last quarter of this year, and that is our busiest month. People are trying to look
at
holidays.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, being able to sit around the table with your family and enjoy the holidays and be thankful for the things you have. We don't want food to be one of the things they have to worry about. So now's the time that we're saying, if you've got a large corporation, you're in a neighborhood, if you've got a small corporation, do a food drive for us. Help us that way. Or if not, consider making a financial donation, and then we can go out and buy food. A lot of times the food will be donated to us, but we have to pay for the transportation to get it here. So we have to look at, weighing what that's going to be. Like, we got a tractor trailer load of plums last week, which was great, but we have to be able to have that money to be able to pay for that transportation to bring the food to Savannah.
So we have about 30 seconds left, but I do want to mention, because you talked about all of the food and the donations, well, the donations really make a difference, because this past year you were able to distribute 25 million pounds of food across 21 counties.
Yes, as well as over 820,000 hot meals to children through our Kids Cafe program.
Yeah, and I like to say many hands make light work. 12,500 volunteers worked in 2024.
We couldn't do what we do without our volunteers.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for having me today.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Thank you so much. And thank you for wearing orange. We forgot to mention that. That is the color of Hunger Awareness Month. Here's the information on your screen, because there is another event coming up soon, and that's the Petals with Purpose. That's this Sunday, September 21st at 1 o'clock. That's Sid Nicole Fashion and Flowers at 301 Passageway. That's at Eastern Wharf. 20% of all of the workshop and retail sales will be donated to Second Harvest of Coastal Georgia. You can find all of this information and see this interview again anytime on our website at wsav.com/community corner. And right now, we're taking a look at our forecast. Good morning, Hannah.